welcome to Daily Dose Radio, a 5-minute devotional podcast studying the Psalms verse by verse. Broadcast from the ever-beautiful Sharonville, Ohio, on the sunny side of Cincinnati. Hey there, friends. Welcome back to Daily Dose Radio here in the Bible Bistro. Here in the Bible Bistro, we are serving craft Bible study. You know, it's like that burger joint that has craft burgers. Well, that's kind of what we have here. They're craft. I don't know what that means. I know it means special somehow. So that's what we're going to say. This is craft Bible study. So it's artisanal, it's fresh, it's organic, it's responsibly handled, it's locally sourced. You get the idea. This is good for you Bible study. Today we're looking at verse 3 in Psalm 126. Psalm 126, of course, is an ascent psalm. And in verse 3, we're continuing the theme of rejoicing. We began it there in verse 1, but really stepped into it in verse 2, and now we come to verse 3. And verse 3 is a repeat. We talked about this a little bit yesterday. Verse 3 is a repeat of verse 2. The heathen say, "The Lord hath done great things for them," in verse 2. And how wonderful, how marvelous is it that the unbelieving world should say, look at what the Lord has done for them. First of all, to recognize the lordship of God himself, that he is in charge of doing a thing that is great for a specific group of people. I mean, that whole sentence is just fat with all kinds of wonderful meaning. Now, in the mouth of the heathen, it's one thing. This is the unbelieving world that is speaking, and they're saying, look at what God has done for them. Well, actually, they're not saying look, they're saying the Lord has done. I mean, this is an emphatic, factual statement. The Lord has done. Yesterday, I recalled Rahab when she's talking with the spies. I hope you'll go back and look at that in Joshua's account of the taking of Jericho. Look at what she says to the spies. We know, she says, that the Lord has done these things for you. Yeah, it's a statement of fact on their part. Now, that's one thing for the heathen today to say that, and it's wonderful, and as I said, it's pregnant with all kinds of stuff. Wonderful stuff. But now it comes over into the mouth of the believer. Notice verse 3, the Lord hath done great things for us, whereof we're glad. Perhaps the Jews who are returning to Jerusalem after the Babylonian captivity are hearing this from the heathen around them, those that don't believe, and they're hearing the wonder in their voice, and so they're saying to themselves, yeah, you know, they're right. This is right. The Lord has done great things for us. He has brought us back again. He has returned again the captivity of Zion. And so this is wonderful. So they begin to repeat exactly what they've heard. And it is their responsibility to do that. They're the ones that should be saying, the Lord has done great things for us, because he has. This is John Mason Neal here. I'm going to quote from him. It is the thankful acknowledgement made by God's rescued children of the truth just uttered by the wondering Gentiles, confessing as they do that the work was entirely God's, and contrary at once to their own deservings and expectations. Contrary to their own deservings and expectations. So this is a work of grace. God has done this, and it's like a dream. They just can't believe it's happened. It's just sudden, and it's overwhelming, and it comes with laughter and with singing. And notice we come back to our rejoicing theme here in verse 3, whereof we are glad. Of course they're glad. They're overwhelmed because of this goodness. They're overwhelmed because of what God has done. He has done great things for us, whereof we are glad. And so this is how the passage ends in verse 3. And we'll pick it up right there tomorrow and look at verse 4. Turn again our captivity. Here we come to the second part of the psalm. I hope you'll join me then on Daily Dose Radio. Thanks for listening to Daily Dose Radio. I'm David Smith. The music today has been performed by the Bluegrass Experiment. Thanks again for listening. I'll see you next time on Daily Dose Radio.